Hi everyone. In today's lecture, we will talk about identifiers in Java. Fine. So suppose we have two persons, person 1 and person 2. Person 1 and person 2. How would you identify them? Don't you think they should have some name for identification purpose? For example, we gave a name for person 1 as Naveen and the name of person 2 as Shrikant. Okay? So these names now they have name, okay? So it is easy for others to identify and access them anywhere using their name. So you can say that this names behaves as what identifier, which is basically used for the identification purpose, right? So this is what identifier in the real life means. How can we define a identifier? Here identifiers is the name of the person by which we can identify a person, right? Or we can call that person by hey Naveen, hey Shrikant. So identifier is basically a name. Now coming to the Java programming language, let's see there. So how can we sh- define identifiers? So you should know this thing. What is the proper definition of identifier? See, in simple word, identifier is a name of the basic programming elements. What are the basic programming elements? It can be class name, it can be method name, it can be variable name or label name. Okay, so basic programming elements means what? Class, methods, variables, this all are basic programming elements and their names like class name, method name, variable name or label name is called as what? Identifiers, which can be used for which purpose? Identification purpose. So let's see the definitions. So in simple, identifier is the name of the basic programming elements. Fine. Identifiers is a name given to a class or method or variable to identify and access in the applications easily. A name in Java program is called identifier, which can be used for what? Identification purpose. And the last definition is what? It can be what? Class name, method name, variable name, label name, or interface name. All these names are called what? Identifiers itself, right? So let's see one example. For example, I have this. A string name is equal to Naveen. So this string is what? Data type. This Naveen is what? Value, and this name is what? Variable. Okay, it is a variable name itself is a name. So see, this is what? A data type. This name is what here? The identifier or variable. Variable is basically a container which holds some value of some specific type. For example, here the variable name is name, which holds which type of value? String type of value. That is the reason I have taken the data type as a string. And the name is what? Literal or value here. This value you are assigning to this variable name. And this variable is of which type? String type. I hope this example is clear. Fine. So let's see next. So, you know, let's see one example. We have this example. Class my first program. Public static void main string args system.out.println. My name is Naveen Kumar Singh. What I want to know how many identifiers are present in this program. So identifiers are what? Basically a name of what? Class or a method or a variable or label name or interface name, right? So let's consider this definition and try to figure out the how many identifiers are present in this. You have to figure out that thing. So see first. Public class my first program. My first program is a class name, right? It is a class name, so it is an identifier first. Now public static void main. This main is a method name. Method name is also a identifier, right? Then string. String is a predefined class present in Java. So it is what? It is also a predefined class name. So third identifier. Now string array args, this args is a variable name, right? Variable name of which type? String array type. So this is also an identifier. So it is what? Fourth identifier here, right? Variable name is also an identifier. Am I right? Now see here, system.out.println. So you know this system is also a predefined class. So fifth identifier. This out is what? A variable. It means a variable name. So this out is a variable, it means a variable name, so it is also an identifier, sixth identifier. Now this println, you know, this println is a method that is present in print stream class. So this is also what? A identifier. This is also what? Identifier. So total we have 7 identifiers here. Okay, total we have how many identifiers? 7 identifiers. This all are the sevens. My first program is a class name, main is a method name, string is a predefined class, args is a variable name, system is a predefined class, out is a variable name, and println is what? Method present in the print stream class. Hope this much is clear. Now we have to cover one thing. Suppose what? If we define any basic programming element without name, then what will happen? For example, I have taken this class, but see what thing is missing? The class name itself is missing. The class name is not present here. So if we define any basic programming elements without name, then compiler will throw compile time error. That is what? Identifier expected. Identifier expected. You want to see this? Let me show you this first. So see, for doing this type of practicals, normal write the code in the notepad and run using the Java commands, right? That is the perfect way. So let's see. Okay, now open the notepad and type the program. What was the program? Public, program was public class. I don't want to give class name. Okay, then method is what? Public static void main. Then you have to pass here what? String array args. Then for now don't worry about the syntax, just learn the concept. We will see everything, how to define a class, what is the use of this main method, we will see everything. For now just stick with the concepts. What is my main agenda here? To show that what if you will not provide the name of the basic programming elements, like here I'm not providing the name of the class, so what will happen in this case? I just want to show you that part. So public static void main, so inside this I'm typing system.out.println. Simply I'm typing what? Hi. Okay, hi. Is it fine? Let me save this program. So I'm saving in the document path. So you have to save the program as you know what? Uh, Extension should be .java, right? Source code extension should be .java. So .java, I have saved the program as demo.java. Now save it. Okay. Once you have saved this file, now go to the location where this file is present. Where is the file present? Here, documents. So open the CMD here, CMD. Now what you have to do? You have to compile. So what is the code for compilation? Command for compilation? Java C space, you have to give your file name, that is demo.java. Once you enter, see what is the error you are getting. This is what? Compile time error. Because I am doing a compilation, I am getting this error. What is the error? Identifier expected. Fine. After public class, see here the arrow, here the identifier means your class should have some name. That is what I want to explain you here. I hope this thing is clear, right? So this point is clear, pretty much clear. So now let's see the next thing. So while defining identifiers, we must follow certain rules, else it leads to compile time error. So you have to follow certain rules while defining the Java identifiers. What are that rules? Let's see that rules one by one. So the first rule is, the only allowed character in Java identifiers are alphabets like small a to z and capital A to z. Then digits are allowed 0 to 9. And in the special character, only two special characters are allowed, that is underscore and the dollar symbol. Fine. So based on these rules, which one is valid, you have to decide. See, the first one, reverse underscore number. So okay, underscore is allowed, na? And this all is what? Alphabets. It is perfectly valid, right? Now the next thing, total hash. Okay, this is not allowed here, right? So if this is not allowed, then it is invalid. Correct? So this is valid and this is invalid. Now, next rule is what? Identifier should not start with a digit. Digit can be allowed from the second character onwards. For example, you have these two examples. Now you have to see, you have to figure out which identifier is valid. So first thing, see, I'm using the digit at the first position. One is a digit, right? So it is not allowed. That is the reason it is invalid. Okay. So the rule is identifier should not start with a digit. So it is starting with a digit. That is the reason it is not valid. Okay. And the second one is perfectly valid. There's no problem in the second one, right? Now the third rule. The third rule is what? Identifier should not contain special characters. The only underscore or dollar symbol are allowed. Okay. This is the only allowed special character. If you're using any special character, you know, which is not underscore or dollar symbol, if you're using any, then you will get what? Compile time error. For example, see, I'm using here the hash number. After number, I have used this special character. So only allowed special character is what? Dollar and underscore. But this is not allowed, right? So it is what? Invalid. The second one, max underscore balance. It is perfectly valid. Fine. Now the next rule is what? Java identifiers are case sensitive. What do you mean by case sensitive? Let's see. Java identifiers are case sensitive. For example, see, I have taken one class test. So these three variables, if you read these three variable names, all look same, right? Employee ID, the second one is also employee ID, and third one is also employee ID. But in all the three cases, the case of this variable is different. For example, see here, everything is in uppercase. Here the employee start with the what? E is in uppercase, rest of them is in lowercase, then again uppercase, lowercase, right? And here see, employee is purely in the lowercase, then I is in uppercase and D is in lowercase, like a camel case notation. Okay, so see, all three cases, what is different? Case is different. So we can differentiate we can differentiate with respect to what? Case. So all three variables are different. Okay, they are not same. They are not at all same because the cases are different. That is the reason I am saying Java identifiers are case sensitive. Next, so there is no limit in length, identifier length, but it is not recommended to take too lengthy identifiers. Recommended length is what? 4 to 15 letters only. Fine. The next, we can't use reserve words as identifier. You cannot use the reserve words as identifier because they are available throughout the JVM directly. Okay, and the reserve words has some meaning. The keywords has some special meaning, you know, to compiler and to JVM. So that is the reason it is not allowed. The reserve words are not allowed as identifiers. For example, int a20. A is not a reserve word, right? But if you have see int if 10, it is invalid because if is a reserve word, if is a reserve keyword. Okay, you might have heard if else and this. We will see the reserve words and how many reserve words are present in Java. For now, just remember this if is what? Reserve keyword. That is the reason it is not allowed here. If you are using this if as an identifier, so it is perfectly what? Invalid. Okay, fine. Now next, Next is what? Identifier should be short and meaningful. It should be what? Short and meaningful. For example, I have taken one variable that is int a. Int a. A is what? Here identifier. What does this say? If anyone will read int a, what is this? Is it making any sense? No, it is not making any sense. What is this a? How can you understand by reading this int a? But if someone will write int age, then it is pretty much clear. Okay, this variable is indicating what? This variable means it is a age is what? Age is defining the age of a person, right? Age of a person. So it has some meaning, right? Age of a person. So basically it has some meaning. But what is this A? What is this A and what is this B and C? Don't use this type of things in real applications. Never use this type of things in real applications. Okay. Always use the short and meaningful names. Okay. That is recommended. I'm not saying that it is invalid, but it is not a good practice. Now the next rule. See here. I have taken this and this time I'm taking one variable int string is equal to 1000 and then I'm trying to print this. So string is what? A predefined class, right? String is what? A predefined class. Am I clear? So you have to tell me, is it valid or invalid? So let's go again to our program demo.java. Where was that program? Here it is. Okay. Now give some name here like demo, just for demonstration. Give the name and try to take one variable like int string is equal to 1000. So string I'm treating here as a variable name. Okay, so you have to print this. So just pass here the variable name string, save it, and then go to the cmd, and do once again java c demo.java. See, it is perfectly compiled. No, there is no compile time error. Now you have to run this. So to run, you have to type Java and the file name, that is demo. See, you got the output also as 1000. It means it is perfectly valid. It is perfectly valid. Okay. So it means what? We can also use predefined class names or interface names as identifiers. Even though it is valid, but it is not recommended to use. It is very, very bad practice. Okay. It is not recommended to use. Never ever use, this predefined class name or interface names as identifiers. It is not recommended. I think this much is clear. And then last rule is what? There should not be any space in an identifier. In an identifier there should not be any space. If you want to provide a gap between words, they must be connected with underscore sign. See, for example, here the identifier is first space program. It is invalid. It is not valid. You will get the error. You can try. Okay. But if you will use first underscore program, it is 100% valid. Okay. That is the reason there should not be any space in an identifier. If you want to provide a gap between words, they must be connected with this underscore symbol. Okay. That is the reason somewhere underscore symbol is called as a connector symbol also. So I think this much is clear to you. So this is all about what? Identifiers in Java. So in the next lecture, we will see about comments in Java. So thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe our channel for further updates.